Here I will discuss anime that smells of man of culture, anime titled Kiss X Sis. The story begins with a person named Keita Sumino. Keita has a problem with his twin stepsisters, Akko and Riko, being overly romantic towards him while his parents are away. He is uncertain what to do when his parents cannot attend a parent-teacher session. When Akko and Riko find the notice letter while snooping in his room, they go over to his school, only to be chased by several of their admirers. Keita stops everyone and tells his sisters off for causing a ruckus, but when he realizes why they came, he catches up with them and apologizes, revealing he turned down a recommendation to another school, and that he intends to study to get into their high school. Akko decides to help Keita study in order to improve his chance of passing, though both have a little trouble staying focused on the matter at hand. Akko shows Keita her chest in order to encourage him to study, but this backfires when her chest ends up being all Keita can think about in class. Akko decides to try an alternative study method and starts writing the notes on her body. Despite embarrassing himself in school, he fares better on the tests. However, when Keita likens a kiss from Akko to a penalty game, Akko gets mad and corners him, eventually tricking him into a wrong answer so he has to take the penalty kiss. They press on, but are interrupted by Riko, who has been learning how to prepare food and made a snack for Keita, though it turns out to be terribly inedible. In the end, Keita manages to improve his grade, if only slightly, and he gives all the credit to Akko, whom he thanks, while Riko watches jealously. Keita gets annoyed with being kissed by Akko and Riko all the time and instigates a total ban on kissing. Overhearing that Keita likes sweet things, Riko tries to make him some chocolate, but can only manage something horrific. After finding one of her father's dirty DVDs, she gives Keita some chocolate lipstick, persuading him to kiss it off her lips. Before they manage to go any further, they are interrupted by Akko, who destroys the lipstick. Riko gives Keita another chocolate lipstick, however it was made from the horrible tasting chocolate that she had made, and leaves Keita comically half dead. While Keita studies at school, Akko and Riko reminisce about their first year of junior high, the first time they were apart from Keita. Meanwhile, their teacher, Yuzuki Kuryu, eavesdrops on their discussions and begins to worry about exactly what kind of relationship they have with their brother. After studying, Keita runs into Akko and Riko at the local shrine, where they were praying for his success. He remembers when he was young and prayed to marry both Akko and Riko, only to be told by his father that polygamy is illegal. Keita makes his wish and the three siblings return home together. While talking to his friends, Keita accidentally gropes his fellow student, Miharu Mikuni, and gets slapped. Akko and Riko become suspicious that Keita has been cheating. When Keita goes to study at the library, Miharu, who is a student librarian, becomes too intimidated by her proximity to Keita to go to the bathroom, believing that he will grope her if she takes her eyes off him. Keita chases after her as she tries to get to a washroom, intending to return a book she dropped, and ends up dragging her into various hiding spots to hide from Akko and Riko. Unfortunately, they end up getting locked in the gym storage room, and their hashed escape plan leads to Miharu relieving herself on Keita's back. They eventually manage to escape from the room, and Keita promises to keep the incident secret, though he gets beaten up when he accidentally sees that Miharu had removed her wet panties. Unable to view porn from the internet using the PC their father won at a raffle, Akko and Riko decide to buy erotic games in Akihabara. But Keita ends up accompanying them, so they devise a way to hide their real purpose for going to Akihabara. Akko distracts Keita by taking him to a cosplay shop while Riko investigates the adult section of a game shop. While changing, they run into Akko's teacher, Yuzuki Kuryu, who is a closet otaku. Riko later encounters her while trying to get a special edition game. After meeting Keita and being reminded about Akko and Riko's crush on him, Yuzuki drags him off to talk to him, inadvertently taking him to a cosplay-themed love hotel. After being found by Akko and Riko, the group encounter Keita's Kohai and Yuzuki's younger sister, Mikazuki, who covers for Yuzuki by stating she was buying the game for her. In return for bailing her out, she gets Yuzuki to cosplay as Mai Shiranui for her that night. One of Keita's friends, Toda, coaxes him into going to the pool with him and Mikazuki and inviting Akko and Riko by handing him an erotic magazine. Suspicious of what they might be up to, Yuzuki decides to tail them, despite having a financial dilemma. While trying to hide from them in the bathroom, she is found by Akko and Riko, who, mistaking her for a peeping Tom, soak her with water. With her clothes soaked, Yuzuki borrows Keita's gym outfit. Later that night, Yuzuki becomes entranced by the manly smell of Keita's outfit, and masturbates while wearing it and fantasizing about Keita. She wakes up the next day to find that his pants became soaked in the process. Oddly, Keita has a nightmare about his teacher doing stuff with him. The summer festival arrives, and it is the only day Keita has free from his prep schoolwork. Akko and Riko compete for the opportunity to spend the festival night with him, although they all go to the festival together. A number of incidents involving paraders enables both Akko and Riko to spend some time with Keita alone. They also have to contend with Yuzuki, who is patrolling the fair and catches Riko and Keita in the forest, Mikazuki, who is Miss Mikoshi, and a naughty chick that Akko bought, which leads to Keita seeing Miharu peeing in the bushes. When Keita returns to his sisters, they barely recognize him due to the beating he received from Miharu. As Keita tries to study, Akko and Riko compete with each other to be the most helpful. While alone in the room, Riko and Keita end up engaging in footplay under the kotatsu until Akko catches on. While investigating good luck charms to help Keita with his studies, Akko and Riko learn of one that is made using pubic hair. After much deliberation, the sisters pluck their own hairs to make the charm and give it to Keita, convincing him not to look inside. Keita takes it to school with him, though, and Akko and Riko are understandably embarrassed. Keita falls ill just before his exams and Akko and Riko get out of school to nurse him back to health. However, his recovery is hampered by the twins fighting to earn his affections. Both of them end up licking the sweat off his body, which passes the cold to them while Keita makes a full recovery. Yuzuki, who proctors the exam, is surprised to find Keita present. While Keita takes his exams, Akko and Riko remember how Keita supported them when they were taking their exams. After returning from his exams, Keita gives his thanks to the sleeping Akko and Riko. Keita eagerly awaits the results of his exams, with Akko and Riko trying to wish him good luck, though they encounter several unlucky omens along the way to school. When they get to the notice boards, Keita's number isn't listed and the trio become depressed. However, Yuzuki shows up after they leave to put up a few more numbers on the board, including Keita's. After noticing the celebratory preparations that Akko and Riko prepared, Keita cheers up and decides it's best not to waste it. Later that evening, Keita is visited by Miharu, whose dog had picked up Keita's mail containing his results from his mailbox. After reading them, Keita learns that he had in fact passed the exams and hugs Miharu in his excitement. After Miharu is scared off by Akko and Riko, Keita tells them the good news. After Keita's graduation, Akko and Riko arrive to find they were too late to get the second, much less any of the buttons, off of Keita's blazer. They decide, against Keita's will, to hold a draw for consolation prizes from Keita, with Akko, Riko, Mikazuki, and Miharu as participants. The girls all write down their wishes, which are then randomly drawn. Akko's plan backfires and she ends up getting Keita's shirt collar. Mikazuki wins the opportunity for Keita to flip her skirt, though he is unaware that she isn't wearing any underwear. Riko wins a chance to kiss Keita in front of everyone, but is too embarrassed to do so. Miharu gets the remaining prize, to spend 5 minutes alone with Keita in the equipment room and allowed to do anything. Keita simply uses the time to thank Miharu, but after a slip-up, they end up in a compromising position, leading Akko and Riko to assume the worst. Later that night while Keita sleeps, Akko and Riko make a move on him, though this just gives Keita weird dreams. As he unconsciously grabs his jacket, the button he had been saving for them falls out, and they decide to leave him alone for the night. As the new semester starts, Keita walks to high school hand in hand with Akko and Riko. The ending theme shows Keita welcomed by juniors on his first day. Keita's classmates also meet him. They start to rush in front of his sisters due to admiration. Miharu also feels embarrassed while Keita watches her. His homeroom teacher Yuzuki Kuryu enters the class and feels angry for Akko, Riko, and Mikazuki in his class. She throws them out. Akko and Riko happily take Keita home after school. At home, Sumino family enjoys dinner. The remaining part shows the siblings being kids now growing up as teenagers. Akko and Riko have a final kiss with Keita and story ends. Well, that's all we can tell you. Thank you and see you in the next video.